All right, let's dive right into one of cybersecurity's biggest game changers. We're talking about a secret weapon that's helping defenders fight back faster and smarter. We're talking about SOAR.
So I want you to picture this. You're a security analyst. You've barely had your first sip of coffee, and you're already staring down a tidal wave of security alerts. We're talking thousands, every single day. It's just this constant, relentless flood of information from everywhere.
And that's the real challenge, isn't it? Somewhere in that absolute mountain of data, there's a real threat, a needle in a digital haystack. So how on earth do you find it before it's too late? Well, this brings us to the heart of the problem for so many security operations centers, or SOCs. It's called security alert overload, and it's a massive issue that leads to burnout and, you guessed it, missed threats. I mean, just think about the environment. You've got way too much data streaming in from a dozen different tools that don't talk to each other. You have nowhere near enough time to manually investigate every little thing, and the stakes? They couldn't be higher. Missing just one critical alert could spell disaster for the whole company. It's a system that's almost designed for things to slip through the cracks. So, what's the solution? How do we possibly bring some order to all that chaos? Well, you know where this is going. That's exactly where SOAR comes into play. Let's break down what SOAR actually is. It stands for Security, Orchestration, Automation, and Response. And really, at its core, it's all about one big idea: getting all your different security tools and processes to finally talk to each other, to share information, and to centralize everything automatically. It's about letting the machines do the heavy lifting for you. Seriously, think of SOAR as the symphony conductor for your security team. It's the orchestration part. It stands right in the middle and directs all the different instruments, your firewall, your endpoint protection, all of it. It uses APIs, which are kind of like universal translators, to get all those tools talking. It pulls in data from your SIM, which is like your main security library, and instantly checks it against threat intelligence feeds. And then it automates entire workflows using pre-built playbooks, making sure every part is playing in perfect harmony to create one powerful, unified defense. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like when it's working? Let's follow the journey of a potential threat as it moves through a SOAR system. This diagram here shows that automated flow perfectly. So it starts with tools just monitoring your network. The second something weird is spotted, that info gets zapped over to a CM, the central brain that's collecting data from everywhere. The CM then fires off an alert to an incident response system, but, and this is key, at the exact same time it's checking a threat intelligence portal to see if this weird activity is a known bad guy. It's this seamless, automated chain of events that happens in seconds, not hours. So let's just boil it down to the simple four-step dance. 1. The system spots something abnormal. 2. It instantly adds context by checking it against all that threat intelligence. 3. It automatically creates a case for an analyst to look at. And 4, this is the magic part, it launches a predefined incident response playbook, telling the team and even the other security tools exactly what to do next. All right, let's pull back the curtain a little bit and see what this actually looks like from the analyst's point of view. It all begins right here with what we call a single pane of glass. Instead of juggling 10 different logins in Windows, the analyst just logs into one unified platform. In this case, it's an open source tool called Security Onion. This is their command center. And from that one spot, their entire toolbox is right at their fingertips. Look at the menu on the left. They can jump from checking alerts to managing the case in a tool called the Hive to digging deep into a specific machine with something like Velociraptor, all without ever leaving this one screen. The efficiency gain here is it's incredible. And while the analyst gets that nice, clean interface, this is the magic that's happening behind the scenes. The SOAR platform is automatically running all the complex, tedious commands, all the digital grunt work that would have taken a human analyst ages to do by hand. This is that automation engine, just humming along at machine speed. Okay, so we've seen the how, but let's talk about the why. What's the big payoff? Why go to all the trouble of setting up a SOAR platform? Well, the benefits are massive. You're improving your entire security posture, period. You're making better use of the tools you already paid for. You're getting a much clearer view of what's happening. But most importantly, you are slashing the time it takes to go from detection to response. And that little window of time, that's where a breach is either stopped cold or becomes a front-page disaster. Let's make it crystal clear. The difference is night and day.
Without SOAR, you're stuck in a world of slow, manual work and disconnected tools, which just leads to analyst burnout. With SOAR, you get fast, automated workflows and a coordinated system that empowers your team to hunt down the threats that really matter.
You know, this quote from the source material just nails it. It says, in security incidents, everything must flow. That's it. Security is a team sport, and your response has to be a well-oiled machine. That coordination, that flow, that's exactly what SOAR delivers. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. We know for a fact that the bad guys are using automation to speed up their attacks. The volume and the velocity are only going to increase. So the real question isn't if we should automate our defense, it's can we really afford not to?